Now we'd like to just share some information regarding tuition and payment. Some of the most common questions that we get from prospective students is, what is the tuition and what resources are available to help me pay? So here it is. Our tuition is currently $4,250 per course. Our courses are each 3 credits, so this is the total tuition cost for each 3-credit course. Now, our tuition will fluctuate every year due to inflation. So currently, we're encouraging students to budget at least $45,000 total for the cost of their degree. This cost may exclude books and materials. The cost of books and materials really varies depending on the coursework that you register for. But the great thing is, in addition to tuition, we do not ask our students to pay any fees on a regular basis. So there's no technology fee that our students need to pay on a semesterly basis. We do not have our online and part-time students pay fees that are typically associated with like a full-time residential program. So there's no administrative fee. There's no, student reunion fee, for example. We do not charge a fee to submit your application for admissions, so there is no application fee. The only fee that all of our students will pay is really a fee at the end of their course of study with us, known as a graduate's fee, which is pretty typical across graduate programs. You have a variety of financing options available to you depending on your personal circumstance. I really encourage you to investigate and to take advantage of any funding that may be available through your employer. We unfortunately do not offer any scholarships for our online and part-time students, but that being said, there are other organizations and associations that do. So for example, I have one here right on the screen. For example, the National Consortium for Graduate Degrees for Minorities in Engineering, otherwise known as the National GEM Consortium, offers fellowship programs. Rules, requirements, and application instructions can be found on GEM's website. Here it is right here. This is GEM. The application for these fellowship programs is open from July the 1st to November the 13th. So remember that application closing date if you're interested in this fellowship program. It's November the 13th. If you are a U.S. citizen or a qualifying U.S. resident, you may be eligible to use financial aid. The financial aid that is available for graduate students is largely unsubsidized loans. So similar to that, you can, of course, finance your education through a personal loan. And if you are active duty or retired military and you have veterans benefits, you can, of course, utilize these to finance your education. Speaking of which, we do have a number of active duty and retired military enrolled in our online and part-time programs. If you are planning on using veterans benefits to finance your education, here are some things to keep in mind. The URL that you see here on your screen, ep.jhu.edu/veterans, has some great information on what forms you need to submit in order to use veterans benefits at Johns Hopkins. Our certifying official, her name is Nancy Carr, and she is absolutely wonderful. She's very responsive, and you can find her contact information just by visiting this URL right here. For Chapter 33, post 9/11 benefit recipients, please know that the Department of Veterans Affairs sets an annual cap on tuition for private schools. That cap is $23,671.94, and that's for an entire academic school year. So it includes the spring, summer, and fall semesters, though not in that order. It's the fall, spring, and summer semesters, and then it renews every fall. So we just talked about the tuition for these programs. 5 courses will come in under the tuition cap. The cost for 5 courses is $21,250. The cost for 6 courses, however, will exceed the tuition cap. Johns Hopkins is a yellow ribbon school. How yellow ribbon works at Johns Hopkins is that it is applied once the tuition cap has been exceeded. And if it is exceeded, qualifying students can receive up to $1,000 per year. It's awarded on a first come, first served basis. As of this fall, there were some changes regarding how the Department of Veterans Affairs is calculating basic housing allowance for Chapter 33 recipients. So BAH, your basic housing allowance, is now calculated using the zip code for your on-site classes. So the zip code for the physical classroom utilized. We wanted to take a moment and just to call out that Hopkins does offer various networking opportunities for our veteran students. For for current students, there is an online networking group available via LinkedIn, and you can simply search Johns Hopkins Veterans to locate that group. The full name is, I think it's the Johns Hopkins University Veterans Connection group, but you can find it by searching Johns Hopkins Veterans. For our alumni, we offer a networking group that through our alumni affinity office, and you can find more information about that by visiting alumni.jhu.edu. For international students, so for students who are educated outside of the US, you do have some additional admissions requirements. You will, some additional documents you'll need to submit include a international credit evaluation of any credit earned at non-US institutions. We prefer that students go through WES for this document. WES is a third-party credit evaluation agency, and the product you want to request from them is called the ICAP. These students will also have to provide proof of English proficiency via, for example, qualifying scores on a TOEFL exam. Now, I wanted to just take a moment and let you know that unfortunately our online and part-time programs, students who are studying on an F1 student visa are not eligible to basically enroll in these programs using an F1 student visa. If you are an international student and your intention is or your desire is to study at Johns Hopkins on site using an F1 student visa, I would encourage you to actually visit engineering.jhu.edu and take a look at our full-time degree programs. Next steps, quick review of next steps, and then we'll get to your questions. If you are interested in studying with us, your first step is to complete your online application, ep.jhu.edu/apply. Again, there is no fee for submitting your application, so no application fee. Next is to submit your academic transcripts and your professional resume. Important dates to keep in mind: spring registration is already open, and the spring term will begin on January the 28th of 2019.